Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another great Star Wars Battlefront ideas commentary, and today we're going to be talking about something that a lot of people are wondering about. Will DICE bring back classic maps in the new Star Wars Battlefront game? Before I get into that, I would like you guys to check out my channel, subscribe for more awesome Star Wars Battlefront videos, and let's get right into the video. So me personally, I don't see DICE using too many of the classic maps in the new Star Wars Battlefront game. They're most likely going to develop their own maps, as we saw with their Endor map. It was very in-depth. Well, it was in-engine, it wasn't really gameplay, but the Endor map didn't really look as though it was the Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2 Endor maps. What I personally see them doing is creating their own maps, creating their own variants of maps, and just creating larger maps than there were in Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2, because they're going to implement more vehicles and more vehicle maneuverability and stuff. It's going to be more vehicle-based than the last two Star Wars Battlefront games. You're going to be able to do a lot more in vehicles, in my own personal opinion. But that's a whole separate video. What I see EA and DICE doing with the new Star Wars Battlefront game is I see them reskinning some old maps and including them in DLC, kind of like Call of Duty's done. So Call of Duty, in recent years, has released map packs, and each map pack has, I think, like 3 or 4 new maps, and then one reskinned classic map. So it's a classic map, but it doesn't look the exact same as the classic maps, but it has the same layout. I can see DICE doing that, but giving it the same look, but an updated, more finished HD high-res texture look. So they could easily do this. Why can they easily do this? Because when EA purchased LucasArts games from Disney, they also purchased all the rights to Star Wars Battlefront 1, Star Wars Battlefront 2, and both the Star Wars Battlefront 3s, the free radical version and the LucasArts version. And this gives them access to all the map files, all the map coding, everything. So they could easily take those maps and then just reskin them in Frostbite, or they could take those maps, easily replicate them in Frostbite, and then boom, there you go. They could add a few more things in, they could add more vehicle abilities, they could add a bunch of different things, and that's really what I see them doing in the new Star Wars Battlefront game, is if they're going to include classic maps, most likely the classic maps are going to be DLC. However, I'm not exactly sure if they're going to include classic maps. Part of me wants to say no, there's no way they're going to include classic maps, because they want this to be their franchise. DICE really wants to make this one of their new flagship franchises. They want us to forget about the Free Radicals version, and that's how hard they're going to go with this game. That's how much they're going to try to push the envelope with this game, is they're going to want us to forget about the Pandemic Studios version of Star Wars Battlefront. They're going to try to make this a completely new experience and a completely superior experience. And I would love to see them do that. And now as for maps, what do I think they're going to do with maps in the game? I think it's going to, as I said in one of my last videos, it's going to be only Galactic Civil War, so there's only going to be Galactic Civil War maps, but I think there's going to be a lot more Galactic Civil War maps. So in Star Wars Battlefront 1 and Star Wars Battlefront 2, you had the Galactic Civil War and the Clone Wars. So this means you had a very limited amount of maps that you could have for each. Of course there were maps that would overlap and stuff, but just in general, let's say there was 12 maps in the game, which I know there was a lot more than 12, you would have 6 for the Galactic Civil War and 6 for the Clone Wars. This changes completely in the new Star Wars Battlefront by EA and DICE. If they include, let's say, 12 maps again, they can do 12 maps for the Galactic Civil War, and then in the next game, 12 maps for the Clone Wars, and then 12 maps for the new trilogy. That is something completely different, and something awesome if they did it, because this would allow them to put more time into really the Galactic Civil War, and instead of just it being a map, they can have propaganda posters, they can have a bunch of different stuff. Propaganda posters is something I would love to see in the new Star Wars Battlefront game. That would just so much help with the immersion. You could see things spray painted on walls like Stop the Empire or something, and it would be relevant. I would love to see them spend a lot of time in map design here, and really just create an immersive experience that really amplifies it being the Galactic Civil War. So that's basically all I have to say about the maps in the new Star Wars Battlefront game. Thank you guys for watching if you did watch the entire video. And yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.